Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Derry Michelle, and today we have a wonderful guest named Brie, who is the host of We Hate Your Baby Daddy podcast, which is available on all the platforms from YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. She is here to chop it up with me today and share some of her life experiences, and we're going to find out what it's like overcoming, some of life's difficulties, healing, working to rebuild ourselves after coming out of difficult situations, because we know how life be life for us all, right? So I'm happy to have her joining us today and looking forward to conversing with her, gaining some new insights that I think will help you viewers and listeners out there who may need a little encouragement, some motivation, and some laughs throughout the way, because I'm sure we're about to cut up too. All right. So welcome, Brie.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. So I am one half of a duo.
Right.
I'm Brie. My co-host, her name is Dee. And, our podcast, We Hate Your Baby Daddy. We were just laughing about this. Me and Derry were just laughing because it's like, we specifically hate your baby daddy. It's like, we hate ours, but we really hate yours. And so our show is all about having people come on, tell us about why they hate their baby daddy. And we just hate on them. I mean,
you know what? I'm not mad at it.
Right.
I love that. And I think when I first came across you guys, I think on Instagram, I was like, these girls are a trip. And the name alone just had me totally caught up. I was like, I've got to collab with her. And one day, hopefully we can get Dee on here too to link up and cut up with us. But y'all are a good time for sure. So how long have you been doing your podcast?
It's been a little over a year. We're
Okay.
kind of like on a hiatus right now because, like I was telling you earlier, I'm having a bit of a employment crisis, and Dee, she's in like medical school.
Nice.
So
okay.
and we're both moms. Obviously, we have our baby daddy drama, but we are solely responsible for our kids, basically. So, we're on a little bit of a hiatus, but you can still find the podcast everywhere. I mean, it's still up. Good. We're just gonna probably try to regroup once everything gets back to normal.
I hope so. And things are gonna bounce back. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna find a place where you fit in, you belong, you enjoy it, so we can continue, being able to live. Because, girl, I know it's got to be a bit of a struggle, but you're doing well, and I'm praying for things to turn around.
I must say, like, the way you run your podcast is very professional. It's very, like, I've been very impressed. I mean, y'all, we did like an intake call. It was a scheduled intake call. I mean, she is like all set up. Me and Dee were just kind of out here like, whose baby daddy are we hating on this week?
That is so funny.
And that's the show.
I appreciate that feedback. That's really sweet. And you know what it is? I've taken time to like connect with so many podcasters and content creators, and I take a little something from everyone. So I think one of the first shows I did, he was so legit, and he had like the Calendly app. I'm like, this is amazing. Let me do this, and I can sync my calendars. And I had another lady, and when I did hers, and she was like, I do intake calls. I'm like, that's dope, because everybody's not a good fit for your show. And so I've had some people that I've had to turn down, like, I just don't think the energy's there. I don't think you have really enough to contribute here. And then I had another lady who I did her show, and she had just a beautiful layout of like questions and information, and just, hey, reminders about this, and here's the links, and here's my contact information. I'm like, I need to do all this stuff.
You had it all together. I was blown away. I was like, when I have guests on the show, I'm like, listen, what time's your kid go to sleep?
Right?
That's when we record.
And it's just we've got to be flexible, and that's just what it is. I mean, everybody who I'm connected with, for the most part, they are content creators as well. And I have had a few like friends and family come and join me and tap in and stuff like that. But I think it's a lot we have going on. People don't realize just how much goes into being a content creator or podcaster on top of our multiple other jobs and being moms and all that good stuff. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Brie.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So to kick off the show, I like to ask a fun icebreaker question. And my favorite question to ask is, who's the most famous person you've ever met? And if you've met anyone, tell us the story about that.
Oh my God. So, I mean, I've met a couple of celebrities throughout my life.
Okay.
I always tell people, like, I grew up in the airport, like, specifically in Dulles Airport. I'm from Virginia.
Okay.
And like Dulles is like the Washington, like Northern Virginia airport.
Okay.
And so when I was in the airport, which was all the time, I would see like some celebrities in there, like yeah, like mostly athletes because they travel a lot.
Okay.
And when I was younger, this was really before a lot of the teams had their like private jets and stuff. So a lot of the big, like I met like LeBron James in the airport, like in the beginning of his career. Yeah.
Oh, what was
like,
that like?
I was a kid, so
Okay.
I didn't really know anything about him. My brother went up to him and was like, "Hey, are you LeBron James?" And he was like, "Yes."
No autographs, no pictures.
No, because it was back in like the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. So,
got you.
As an older person now, I have dated an athlete. I shouldn't say who it was. I know.
You don't have to share, but that's what's up. Shit, I hope to get to that status soon too, boo.
I mean, when I met him, I didn't know he was an athlete. I was in the club, minding my own business, right?
Okay.
Which, if people don't know this, like DC, Northern Virginia, our club scene is different from everywhere else. Like, it's poppin'. And so you'll always see all of our DC athletes in there. And so this particular athlete, I was already in like the VIP section of this club with one of my friends who is like a celebrity chef. He was doing like a signing.
Nice.
Yeah. And so they had told us like all the drinks were on the house. Me and my homegirl were like on the house. Shot. Right. So we were getting lit.
Right.
And then I see all these, in my view, because listen, listeners, I am almost 35 years old, and this was a while back, but I was a bit, older in my mind, and I was drunk and belligerent. I see all these kids walking into the VIP. They like lifted the little velvet thingy, and I was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "What are all these kids doing in here?" And someone's like, "Oh, these are team," and I was like, and one was like smiling in my face, and that like pissed me off. I was like, "Why are you smiling in my face? What are you, like 12?
Oh my God.
People think, "What are you, like 12? I was like, excuse me. I'm like, "Who are you and all these kids?" And he tells me his name and he's like, "These are my teammates." And I'm like, "Okay, but do you work together? Yes or no?" So that's your coworkers.
Oh my God.
I was so belligerent. But then we ended up dating for a while. And then I started to watch his games and like come to his games. And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is like a legitimate."
Yeah. Oh my God. That is so funny.
I don't watch TV. I'm not into sports.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, he was actually a very famous athlete. They won this. If I say what they won, it will give away the sport. But they won the base. It wasn't football, so it was like the Super Bowl of their sport.
Okay.
And so yeah, he was very famous. But I didn't know that. So when we were out together, we were like, "Oh my God, you're so and so." I was like, "Ooh, this is embarrassing." But then he got traded.
Okay.
Yeah, he got traded, so we stopped dating. But that would be
I'm sure that was a heck of an experience. Jeez, girl.
It was so random. And he was a little bit younger than me too.
Okay.
And so, and these athletes, I mean, they were like multi-millionaires. So the lifestyle, I mean, there's just so much temptation out there for them.
I can imagine. Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, I don't know about this, but it was fun. I mean, he was a fun guy.
Thank you for sharing that story with us.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So another question I like to ask, which I think is kind of fun as well, is tell us about like your geographic journey, like where you grew up, where you were born and raised, where you are now, how you made it here.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. So I'm from Northern Virginia. I live in Northern Virginia. I literally, when I bought my house in 2020, I moved 35 minutes away from my hometown. So I'm like,
you're pretty close.
Like, yeah,
okay.
I'm basically what they call a hick. They're like a hick, they just never leave their hometown, right? Like a black hick.
Oh my gosh. No, you made it out. If you're 30 minutes away, you still made it out, I say.
Yeah, but yeah, no, my dad is actually from Ghana.
Okay.
And my mom, she's black, but she's from Iowa.
Have you been to either places?
Iowa all the time. Ghana never, actually.
Really?
That would never take us.
You gotta take that trip. I want to go to Africa so bad.
Oh, me too. Listen, this is a secret. I think my dad is like a second family. And I think that's why he won't take us. Okay, that's my theory. That is my theory. And we've asked him point blank, like, if we go there, is there gonna be a surprise? He's like, no.
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't know.
You just don't know nowadays with these men. I've had so many people I've run across like, yeah, I just discovered I got a sister.
Don't know what you're gonna find. So one of these days, I mean, I had bought a ticket and everything. I was gonna go out there, and then the pandemic started.
Yeah.
And then, I was stuck inside. I got knocked up, and I just I never made it out there. But I'm gonna go out there, and I'm gonna see if I have some siblings out there that I need to know.
Absolutely, you gotta go find out and just go and just touch that soil a bit. I'm with that.
Exactly.
Well, tell me, where would you like to be? Is there a place you'd like to move, like maybe in sometime in the future?
I mean, if I had my choice, Mexico, probably like Cancun, Playa del Carmen. I go there all the time.
Okay.
I went there 3 times in 2024. I can't stay out of there.
Look, take me next time, okay? Shit, I want to go too.
Let's do it. I go there sometimes randomly. I just look at my schedule. I'm like, I don't have anything going on. Like, I don't have a job right now. So I'm like, hey, let's go to Mexico.
Might as well go enjoy some new scenery and have a little fun. I'm not mad at it.
Period. Oh my God, it was funny. So fun. Last time I was there, I went to the club. This was actually the week of Christmas. I went to the club. They have like go-go dancers, and the go-go dancer got out of the cage for their break or whatever. And he's like, hey, you should get up there. I was like, I don't know. And he was like, no, just get up there. I'm like, okay. So I'm there like twerking, throwing it back.
Oh my God. So funny.
And I was with recorded it. And so I had this video of me like twerking in this like go-go cage. And I posted it, and I'm like, damn, AI is getting so good. Like, they make it seem like you're twerking in a cage in Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, that is too funny. Oh my goodness, I'm about to check that out. I linked with a damn content creator recently and started doing skits, girl. I don't know how he even talked me into doing these skits, but they have been so funny. And
oh, I saw one that you posted, and I commented, and listen, I drink at night. I'm be honest with you. And I didn't realize it was you. And I made some like rude ass comment. I was like, man, these fucking fake ass skits or something like that. And then you replied, and I was like, wait, what? And I looked at the video again, and I was like, oh my God, that's dear.
Listen, I was getting all kinds of feedback from my cousins, like, this is just goofy and all. It was just so funny though. But the video did so good on TikTok,
good.
huh?
The feedback is good. Like, the engagement is good.
It is. Girl, on TikTok, the video's at almost 200,000 views. We have like 3,000 comments. That's why I'm like, TikTok's popping for me. Don't fucking go away, TikTok. This is ridiculous. This is not the time. I can't
believe they're going to take TikToks. With Trump getting in, I mean, these people are just feeling so empowered. They can say whatever they want now. Best luck to them with that. I mean, actions have consequences, so...
Listen, yeah, I'm just trying to prepare myself because it's about to pop off. Okay,
you keep saying day one I'm gonna do this. Day one I'm gonna do this. Like whatever.
He's gonna sure try, and it's gonna just be like a bomb let off. Like, oh, here we go again.
I'm gonna be celebrating Martin Luther King Day. I'm not paying him dust. So
I think that is the freaking funniest thing that this is all happening on MLK's birthday. Good, because he's so mad about it. He's
and because President Jimmy Carter died, those flags are still at half mast. He's pissed about that too. It's like the ancestors are like trying to tell us something.
And he's just such a big fucking baby, like crying about the most insignificant shit. Sir, get in here and start making all the moves and try to keep some of these promises you made to people about how you're about to make the economy the best it's ever been and all this shit you swear is going to happen that we know is not going to happen. But girl, don't get my blood pressure up tonight. I don't want to talk about that fool. So here on the Hoe-Busters, the idea came about from me coming out of a 19-year fucked up, emotionally and toxic, abusive relationship. We all kind of share a lot of similar experiences dealing with goofy ass babies, daddies, and ex-husbands and what have you. So tell us more about your situation and, how you came to meet your ex, what kind of things you experienced with him, and what it was like getting out of that situation.
Yeah. So, I should start this story by saying, like, at one point I was married. I always say I was a child bride because I was like 25 when I got married. That person is not my baby daddy. This is somebody else. This is somebody, I was minding my own business. And I was in the bar.
Ain't that how it be?
My guy was like checking me out, and he was all cute, and I was like, "Oh, you're cute." He says to me like, "You're beautiful" or whatever, and I was like, "I know." And then he was like trying to like talk to me and stuff, and he's like, "I have a Tesla," and I was like, "I don't care." Why are you telling me this?
Oh my God, that's funny.
And then we did start dating. And he took me out on like a really romantic first date. So like in Virginia, we have a lot of wineries.
Okay.
And so he took me to a bunch of different wineries, and at each winery he bought me like a different bottle. And he was like, you know, while we're dating, like every night, like we can just like drink, like have a different bottle. And I
I
was like,
love
oh
that.
god,
That's
so
sweet.
sweet. It was so
Yeah.
romantic.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like a lot of rules. One of my rules is like you can never like raise your voice to me. Like if you do that, like we're done. And so one night he was really drunk and he got mad and like yelled at me, and I was like, okay, well we're done. Like you know, you knew that was a rule before I agreed to like be your girlfriend, because that's not really something I do. Like having somebody be like, "Why wouldn't you be my girlfriend?" I'm like, yeah, everybody does. So
You know,
like you have to agree to these rules. So I'm like, you yelled at me. But then like my friend, actually she has a podcast too. It's called Run His Pocket Sis. I don't know if you've heard of her.
no, but I
But
might have to
like,
check her out.
oh, it's really funny. She was like, hey Brie, let's go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And I'm like, okay, blah blah blah, mind my own business. And I was like, I need someone to babysit my dog. I have a little Maltese Shih Tzu. She's like 10 pounds of fury. And so my ex was like, oh, I'll watch your dog. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's sweet.
I should have suspected that something was going to happen.
Oh.
So yeah, so he was house sitting, dog sitting for me. I was in New Orleans. That city is haunted, first of all. Second of all, I was like racing homeless people at night because I didn't have anything. After Mardi Gras ends, you know, the city shuts down. So there was nothing to do.
Okay.
And I was just racing the homeless.
Oh.
You know, we don't have to discuss that any further, but
No.
don't mean to brag, but I won.
Oh my
And so,
God.
and so when I got back, I had COVID.
Oh Lord. Jesus.
I know, right? And
What a way to wrap up that trip. Dang.
oh, I know. And so at the time, he was just my ex-boyfriend. He was like, well, I just had it, so I should be good. Like, I'll, you know, get the groceries and take care of you and everything. What's up one time? One time. And I got knocked up.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I didn't know. I used to be a dancer. And so when I got back, I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the club, and I would get off the pole and I'd be out of breath, like like I'm like, what's wrong with me? And I would just be throwing up, and I was like, is this because I had COVID? Yes, I had a doctor's appointment and he was gonna take me, and somebody told me, they were like, take a pregnancy test. I was like, I took one 5 days ago, it was negative. They're like, no bitch. Like,
take it down.
Take another one. I was like, okay, whatever. I took one. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Surprise,
listen,
huh?
at the time I was like 31, so I
okay.
know I didn't.
Oh my
I was being
goodness.
responsible in my 30s. And I mean, he was so excited, as they always are, you know, like
right.
And so I mean, she was a complete like whoopsie, but you know, she's great. And she's the only grandchild on either side, so very spoiled.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So when did things take a turn in your relationship?
Well, we had already been broken up, right? And so after I got pregnant, he was like, so I guess we're getting back together. I'm like, what? You guess what? That's what? And so he was pissed, like, well, you're pregnant now, like, and he was already like paying my bills and stuff. And so he was like, we should be together, whatever. So I was like, fine, like, let's just try it out, like, try again, which I never really give second chances, but I'd never been pregnant before. So I was like, let me just try. And actually everything was fine. Thing is, like, he deals with like alcoholism.
Okay.
And so like, but we were both obviously completely sober the entire time because I was pregnant and he was just like stable, right?
Good, yeah.
So then after I had her, at first everything was fine. We were both on leave from work, and like everything was fine. But then as soon as he goes back to work, like he was acting weird. I saw something in his phone and I was just like, well, you're sick. Like, we're done. Cause I mean, like, again, I'm an Aries.
Okay.
Like, and you know what's so funny? We're all fire signs. He's a Leo. My daughter's a Sagittarius.
Okay.
It's a lot of fire.
Look, I'm a Leo too, and my son's an Aries.
Oh, so you get it. You get it. It's just like it's our way or the highway. And
Yeah,
so he was pissed. He was like, "What do you mean we're done?" I was like, "I saw these messages." He's like, "But I didn't even do anything." I'm like, "The messages is enough.
that's
Like, what else?
enough.
Am I supposed to wait until you meet up with a person? I don't understand
You know,
what you think."
I wish I had that kind of strength or ability to set those kind of boundaries with someone. I was such a fucking pushover. I let so much go throughout my relationship. Like, I've caught the texting with dozens of women, and it's, oh, you weren't doing this, you didn't meet up. Okay, fine. Well, stop it. Need to block her, and we need to move on. And I've done that so many
Never works.
times, and oh my God, girl, I'll never do it again.
Yeah, because it never works. And
Never
they're
again.
already doing it. They already don't give a fuck.
No.
And so one of my friends asked me, they're like, "That's your baby daddy. Like, you're really gonna break up with him over the text messages?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I can't trust him. I can't look at him the same way ever
Yep.
again because it made me sick." Like,
Yeah, I
ew,
can
you fucking
understand.
pervert.
Right. I mean, and it really does. I don't think people understand the psychological damage, the trauma, the PTSD that you will experience after going through that. And then imagine find out they full blown cheated, or you're finding videos of them fucking, or you're
That's
like,
exactly what I said. I'm like, if I can't trust you with that, like, what else can I trust you with?
right.
So
I get
after that, we split up, and he was pissed because he's like, and he has a country accent. So when I do impressions of him, that's why it sounds country. He's like, I just want my family back.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, sorry, that ship has sailed. And
Oh
so
my
me and my
goodness.
friend, her baby daddy, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, you'll know our
Yeah.
situations. But her baby daddy's on some bullshit too. So I was like, we should start a podcast, have people come on, like vent about their baby daddies. We talk about celebrities too, like Cardi B situation was all set. Like
That was
oh,
something.
man.
I know.
I'm glad it's finally done, but
me too. And it's like to keep getting embarrassed like this. I mean, especially when you have such a spotlight on you. Even the Remy Ma situation and Papoose, like this, it's just so embarrassing. My God. So
public.
before I take it there, especially at this point in life, like, yeah, we're just gonna have to be done. Fuck this. Move on. Hopefully it's, going forward, I'm not trying to have any more kids, but I'm never going through this shit again. Because you know how to be disciplined. As much dick gets thrown at us all the time, we don't take it all. As much pussy, like, as much pussy I'm sure is getting thrown at you, you have to be disciplined enough to know, like, let me not take this.
That's friends. Standard.
That's my thing. Like, have some self-control, have some self-respect. How about that? Because half of the women they're out here cheating with, you're like, yeah, did this with her. Like, this was worth that much of a gamble. I mean, to see, if I showed you the woman who my ex was cheated on me with and got caught those few days before my birthday, I show people the picture and they're just like, oh, God.
Oh, I gotta see this
happening. Bitch, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And his excuse, honey, was, we never got together. She was from my high school, and I was just trying to, like, flirt with her and get her to send me, like, nude pictures because, like, I just wanted to include them in my guys' group chats because I'm always so left out. And my friends are always clowning me for being the married loser.
You porn addicted fuckhead. Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. You kind of have to be in position to be able to cheat like this, or to be able to be out here fucking around or being abusive or being whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. You are broke, you don't have a car, you're relying on me and my income, and it's all too common. Like, when I went through my divorce, it was 6 women around me going through divorce. Wow. We were just a whole little fucking support network. We were our own little village. All of us had to kick our men out our houses. Some of these men did not have cars. They didn't have money. They didn't know where they were going to go live. One of my girls, her ex-husband was like sleeping in his car until he figured his shit out. And I'm thinking, this is embarrassing. So if you're going to be out here doing this, make sure you're in position to handle your business when it's time to go.
They just never think you're going to boot them. That's the thing.
That's what baffles me. Like, what makes you think that I'm going to do this forever? And I know, granted, like, I dealt with this shit almost 2 decades. Mine was way too comfortable. Like, this bitch ain't going nowhere, until I did. And then it was like, he's crying to the friends, and I just can't believe she broke our vows.
I want my family back.
And then I find out he cheated on me 2 weeks after our wedding.
Oh, so good Lord.
You're worried about me breaking vows? Our ink wasn't even dried on the fucking marriage certificate. And here you out here fucking around on hoes from high school.
That is fucking disgusting. I mean, You know, me and my baby daddy, we were not together that long, honestly, before we broke up. We were together, I want to say like maybe 5 or 6 months
Okay.
before we broke up. We got back together maybe 4 months after that when I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I know people who have been in those like 16 year long relationships or married and, had to basically reinvent your whole life after that. I mean, that's crazy.
Reinvent your entire life. Now, I'm going to say, I think in that first year, it was like bliss. It was almost like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like, the heavens are open singing to me and the little birds are chirping all pretty. And it's like, this is beautiful. I'm dating like crazy. I realized I was a serial dater in that year. And then I feel like it just hit me like a few months ago, like, bitch, I got to do everything on my own.
Yeah, I mean, you were a married single mom, right?
Now having to do literally everything. It's like, because my baby's dad, I don't think he has the kids more than, I say, 100 hours a month.
What? So, you guys don't have a custody agreement?
I mean, every other weekend.
Oh, so it's nothing, basically. They're like his homies. He sees like...
You get them for dinner. They come with you Friday night. You fuck around all Saturday. Do a little bit of bullshit Sunday. Then they're back to me. But I enjoy my every other weekend. I'm not gonna pretend.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely enjoy my every other weekend, and I'm grateful that at least he does that. Because I've got plenty of friends who they don't even do that shit. Oh my god, just the pressure on you, like everything from I gotta take care of haircuts. I've got to take care of practices and
when they're sick,
games and sicknesses
homework,
and
everything,
school projects and preparing for talent shows and summer camps, and it's like
parting them around. I mean,
and you get to have them 100 fucking hours a month, and then got the nerve to be out here within those 100 hours. We got to do all the photo ops and make it look like,
of course, it's like you're an active daddy,
gram, right? We got to flex for the gram. Oh, got my kids. We out here having fun. No, y'all not.
That's funny. I take my daughter, like, when I go to Mexico, like, I took her this year for her first time. And, like, I always take, like, really, like, nice photos of her. And, like, sometimes during our pickup and drop off, I mean, when we were cool, he would be like, oh, can you send me those pictures? I'm like, no, I'm not going to send you those fucking pictures. Once he can post them and be like, look where I took my kid to Cancun. Like, bitch, you weren't there. Get the fuck out of here. I laughed right in his face.
Mine was the same way. Like, he had a thing about posting pictures from my parents' house because he was trying to play it off as if this was where we lived. Oh, it got back to me like, yeah, he posted a picture of your son not too long ago. Yeah, you had him in his little braids. And yeah, but it looks like you were at your mom's house again. I'm like, you're still using our pictures? Now, as proud as you were to get your own space, why don't you take pictures there and post those?
Like, boo, nigga, you live in a dumpster. Post
in the projects. You wanted to have your own name on your lease so bad. You got it. Be proud and bold and take pictures from your place and post those. Stop. So I told him, don't be sending him no pictures from our place. Oh, no.
I hate that. I hate that so much. Yeah, no, I took these, like, great photos. Like, my daughter's 2. It was, like, her second Christmas, but it's the first one where she's not an infant, So she was kind of excited. She's like, Santa, ho, ho, ho. So I took all these cute pictures. She's like, oh, send me those. I'm like, I can send you these middle fingers. You can have 2 of them.
Thank
it's like
you.
The price of one.
Absolutely. That's about the best you're getting from me. You better take your own damn photos. And it's crazy that you make such a big deal out of this. And it's so funny. My best friend used to do this. She came across her ex-husband's page one day. She's like, I'm trying to like keep him in the loop. Like, hey, this is what she's got going on. This was her at her recital, and he's reposting them. So she's like, fuck this. I can never do this again. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so many of us.
You got a watermark those photos. Put it right in the middle.
I'm telling you, put a little picture of my face in the middle. I mean, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. I can't believe how many people are going through that same stupid shit. But
it's so funny though that you say that because everyone thinks either they won't end up in that situation or that their situation will be different.
Yeah,
I went into it like reluctant as far as like us having a relationship. I was already prepared to be like, well, I'm gonna keep the baby. I'm just gonna do my thing, and he kind of pressured me. But I mean, like we were talking about before, I had a really good job. And so I'm like, he gives me a lot. I'm not going to lie. In child support, it is a lot.
You're lucky. I get crumbs. I get pennies. And he had a fit about that shit.
I mean, he was also like a little pissed about it. But I mean, he has money. So it's like, whatever. I don't give a fuck what you think. Right. And so, I do all right. And so I just really wasn't worried about that, but there is some like drama that we have. Like we're very at this point just kind of like nasty to each other, and I really go out of my way to avoid him, and
Yeah.
that pisses him off even more because you know when they still want you,
Yeah.
and then it's like yes, that makes them mad. Like
Oh yeah.
I can't have access to you anymore. So my
And they realize they
mom,
can't replace you.
right, or they try and it's like the ugliest girls they can find. So my mom moved in with me, right? And so sometimes I'll have her do the exchange because I'm like, I just don't want to see his dumb face. Like, I don't hear his fucking country accent. Like, I don't want to look at him.
Honey, I get it. I send my kids
And
out the front door. Like, put your, expand your little suitcase. Be careful. Watch the box. See y'all later. I don't even walk out the door, girl. I don't want to see him. I don't want to hear him.
When she's older, that's how I'm gonna be. But you know, someone needs to like do the handoff, right? So I have my mom sometimes do it, and I was like chopping up with my best friend the other day, and I was telling her, I'm like, you know, I have my mom do the drop off as much as possible, so I'm to see him. She's like, yeah, bitch, you don't need to tell me. She's like, I did the exchange. She did it twice. God, no.
I think my friends would have too many words and maybe some hands for mine. Like, you were doing what to my girl? Fuck you.
Yeah,
but oh my God.
Like, she was all confused. She was like, here.
Oh my goodness. That's so
like,
funny.
Around the corner. I forgot all about that.
Oh my God. You got me cracking up. My freaking cheeks hurt. Lord have mercy.
Mine too.
This is too funny to me. Too funny.
Like, you know, our stories are just so relatable.
They're different,
but we all go through the same bullshit. Like, these niggas are annoying.
And I'm telling you, and it doesn't even matter where we are. Like, I have a lady who I linked with. She's in Toronto. And white lady, funny as shit. She I don't know if she has a podcast, but I know she's got a page online. She like is big on digital marketing and things like that. So we had linked up. She's supposed to come on the show in the next couple weeks. And she was going the hell in on her ex-husband, like, fuck this bitch shit. I'm like, wow. We got, across races, across countries, continents, it don't matter, baby. We all are sharing this experience. And really, it makes me feel sad because it's like, what's going on with our men out here? What is going on? Girl. Where did we take this shift where it's like they've got high feminine energy, we got high masculine energy. We out here like the now. I don't like this. I personally love love. I love marriage and, you know, seeing happy couples and relationships. You know, my parents have been married for 40 something years and I have so many long-term marriages in my family. Like, I don't see a lot of divorce.
Yeah, you want that for yourself.
Of course I do. But these men don't want it. These men think they have so many options. A lot of bitches want me. No, they don't. Half the time they only want you because of the lifestyle that you look like you're living on account of us.
Period. I was just about to say that. Oh my God. I mean, it's just such bullshit. Yeah, on our show, we call it BDB, baby daddy bullshit. It's like a universal experience that everybody has across continents. Yeah. Your baby daddy's going to give you some fucking bullshit. Even if you're still married, even if you have a loving relationship with him still, even I was telling my friend who just got pregnant, who she was on the fence about keeping it. I was like, bitch, don't do it. But no, she decided to keep it. I was like, well, you know, when you start dealing with the BDB, hit me up because I can help out with that. Yeah. But, you know, we all have to deal with it. I mean,
yes,
even the best ones are still fucking annoying. So
they are. And it's like I have a little boy, so I'm like making it my mission to try to really instill morals in him. Like, you don't have to be out here doing women wrong. Treat women right. Such a little sweetheart. He opens the door. I'll hold the door open for you, ma'am. And you know, he's a little sweet. It's really cute. And you know, I'm like, I just want him to grow up and make sure he has the confidence and love himself, because these are things, again, we're not taught as children. It's like It takes a fucked up situation before you realize, like, damn, I was really sleeping on myself. Damn, I didn't have no boundaries. My self-esteem was in the shit. Confidence didn't exist. Like, and so I just want to try to put that in my kids now, especially like my daughter too. Like, baby, don't be out here letting no man talk crazy to you, dog you out, have you thinking you're not smart, you're not this, you're not worthy. Fuck that. And when you see it early, trust and believe that's what he is. Because actions are going to speak louder than words. Don't sit here and think all the apologies, all the baby, please. Fuck that. Let him show you that he's putting in the work to change. Let him show you that he's actually doing something different. But even when you take them back, like they'll very quickly resort right back to what they were doing. It's just all little facade. Like, okay, I'm back in here. I'm back in the house. I'm back in the bed. All the bullshit come flutter right on back. Don't be that.
You know, there's a discourse right now on Twitter about like how Black parents who don't allow their kids to date as like teenagers in high school, it's like they're like not setting them up for success because they're like not letting them, you know, experience dating and like create standards and stuff. And I'm like, that I feel like I understand where they're coming from, but I'm like, at the same time, I feel like more parents need to be like you and just kind of tell them, like, tell your kids men are sex driven.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't, they don't necessarily have to like you to want to be with you.
I tell my daughter, I'm very real with her. Listen, they just want to get their dick wet, okay?
Right.
They just want to fucking feel your pussy.
That's what parents need to say.
Yes,
that's what
and be real about it.
Saying. Yes, because nobody, like, I don't know about you, but nobody really told me that. It wasn't until I was older and I experienced, like, wow, these men will do anything for it. That will die behind something.
They will lie, cheat, steal, kill, okay? And it's like, really sad. Because scary. It's not like that for us. Like, we can go spans of months and not think about dick or sex. And
we think about it. We're not out here just doing whatever to get it. Like, ugh.
No, because we know that, I mean, there's ramifications to this shit sometimes. You fuck with the wrong, you'll be fucked up. You got a baby. He don't want no parts of this. You got to go into it knowing, okay, I got to have this baby on my own. You fuck around, contract something you can't get rid of. You fuck around, you got to deal with his wife because he wasn't even telling you his ass was married. Now her ass want to stalk you and come. I mean, people are crazy.
Or his sibling, like his sister, his mother, like, or if he's broke. I mean, listen, my baby daddy's mom. Right? Like,
I'm going through it firsthand.
I can't stand that hoe. I cannot stand her. And she'll probably listen to this. She will find me on other shows because she listens. She's a subscriber to my podcast where we had a whole episode talking shit about her. And I'm like, I can't believe she paid to hear this shit talking, but she did. Wow. Like, these are things you have to think of. But I'm like, I always tell myself, at least he's not broke. At least he's not broke.
And I get for
one kid, you know, I told you how much I get in child support. I get a 4-figure monthly child support, which I'm like, it's rare.
I only get a few $100s for 2. That explains
crazy.
A lot.
That is fucking crazy to me.
And he was going in on me the other day like, yeah, you were trying to tell him I'm getting this money under the table. What do you think you were going to get an extra $50 to $100? I said, and you proud of that? You proud that you're paying pennies?
With your chest?
He was with his full chest out, baby. He was so proud of that. And I'm like, I've been dating men who are paying $1,500, $2,000 per child per month. What you're giving is embarrassing. What you give only covers haircuts, hairdos, and a few Happy Meals each month. Please don't think we're doing that much with your couple of coins, sir. We're not doing much with it at all.
Right. And even my situation, it's like people don't realize, and this is something we talk about on our show a lot. Child support is a drop in the bucket. Raising a kid, that takes everything. So when people are like, oh, the mom's spending the money on, no, we're setting our kids up for success with what we're working with. And your child support, even mine, which is a lot, it's a drop in the fucking bucket compared to the energy and the time and the money that we put in from ourselves. So anybody who says moms are like gold diggers or whatever, they can suck it.
I hate that. Now I know we've got like celebrities and stuff who are getting like $30,000 a month and $50,000.
Deserve it.
We're not getting
situation, they deserve it.
If you're making that kind of money and you can afford to pay that, knowing that this is the lifestyle that you had her in anyway, don't be mad about it. Again, these are the things that y'all not thinking about when y'all want to be out here lying, cheating, being goofballs.
And you're gonna have to fucking I know that money is going to the kid. Private school is not cheap if you're a celebrity. Right. I mean, people don't realize private school tuitions, at least where I live, it's like $50,000 a year.
Girl. I mean, there's some schools in Charlotte that are between 30, 40. So yeah, this is not a joke. Like I had my daughter in private school one time and I was like, I'm not about to do this. First of all, I didn't like the school because I felt like it was a religious cult. So I had to pull them out. But even so, I was like, your child support does not even cover half of this 1 month's tuition.
Right, so it's not even worth it.
What do you think you're doing? you know, and you want to be mad.
I took my baby daddy. I was like, take me out to dinner. I have to tell you something because I'm not taking him out. So he took me and my daughter out to dinner, and we had hot pot. I love hot pot. He was like, okay, what do you have to tell me? And I was like, I need you to crowdfund your parents to pay for a private school because, you know, with the new administration come in, they're gonna dismantle the Department of Education. And you know what he says to me? He was like, I'm relieved. I thought you were going to say you're moving or you're getting married. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. I'm like, no, we just need to pay the fucking tuition for private school. And your parents need to sign up. Because, I mean, his parents have money. He has money. Like I was saying, like I was doing okay for myself. But I'm like,
at least you're in that situation, baby, because I know you're able to live a little more comfortable and know your baby's gonna be well taken care of.
Where I live, the public schools are just not the best.
Honey?
And I'm like, I just really want to set her up for success because we're moms. Yeah. That's all we really care about.
So
again, that's why when people are accusing us of like taking the child support, living off that, like, come on.
Like you said, the time alone from sun up to sundown, all the responsibilities being on us, and then when they're with y'all, it's just fun. We're just going out to eat. We're just going to movies. We're going to Big Air and the bounce houses and all that fun shit. You're not having to sit and invest the time doing his homework. You're not having to sit and teach these kids how to bathe properly. And I'm teaching my son how to wash his balls, and I don't even got a dick, but I imagine this is what you got to do, son.
I never thought about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because who else is showing him this stuff?
Yeah, exactly. He needs to learn somehow. Fuck.
There's so many things I'm trying to teach. Hey, I don't want you going up thinking that you're just going to go and find a woman to maintain your home. Oh, she'll clean for me. She'll cook for me. No, you're going to know how to do this shit on your own. So even now, my little 8-year-old, he knows how to make his bed. He knows how to vacuum. My baby takes the trash out. It's like, I'm not playing with you because I refuse for some young girl to come be crying. I've seen a girl do that to my mama. I've done that to my ex's mama. It ain't happening for me. My son's going to be able to take care of his shit. That's my mission. And also trying to make sure, like, he's such a mama's boy, but I want him to be able to get to a point like, baby, don't be worried about me because I'm good. I'm straight over here. Yeah, I can't stand all the emotional incest between mothers and some of their sons. Yeah.
You're not a hashtag boy mom. You're not one of those.
Listen, we're not doing that here. I don't want to ever confuse the lines between that relationship because there's so many. Even, one time.
All the time.
Oh, it's so disgusting. At one time, I was like, my ex's mom was our third wheel. We let's go out and have a good time. Like, when my mom's at the house, why don't we just go to the house and she even offered to buy pizza and we can just sit around with your mom.
No.
And somehow in my young, silly mind, I'm like, well, okay, let's go do this. But I look back on it now like, how fucking dumb.
Yeah, you were young. Like, how old were you when you got married?
I was 18. I was just fresh into college.
You're a child. Like, you're a baby.
And I was just like, I just moved from Connecticut to North Carolina. Only person I knew was I had an uncle in Greensboro, but one of my childhood friends came down to school with me too, but she was very different from me. She wasn't really a partier. She was really into like all the honor classes, really smart. Now she's about to be a doctor and stuff. It's like, I'm trying to come out here, have a good time. And I was not trying to come down to school and get wiped the fuck up. This is my first time in my adult life actually being able to experience dating because I was a loyal bitch, okay? Knowing I shouldn't have been, I was too fucking loyal. And so I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I'm like literally a kid in a candy store. So in the last year, like...
I love
my friends are like, every time what happened? Tell us what happened on that day. And I'm like, I have the craziest stories for them. And they're like, oh my God, we're just living through you. And I'm like, I love it too, girl. I'm not even about to pretend. But I told myself, I'm going to take a break right now and just try to focus on like my new job and the podcast because I really want to try to do some different things kind of going into this year. Oh my God, it's just so amazing. Are you dating?
You're killing it.
I appreciate it, girl. I'm trying, okay? I'm just trying to hold it together because trust me, I have my good days and my bad days, but I say thank God it's mostly good. And so, but what's it been like? Are you on the dating scene, taking some time? Just what's going on in your world?
Kind of like a list of requirements. When I go into a dating situation, even if it's just like a situationship, I mean, there's certain things I need,
What's that? So, what does that consist of?
Well, I feel bad saying it because I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? She's crazy." But like, discretion, you can't be out here. People try to be like, because I live in like a smaller kind of community.
Okay.
So people try to be like, oh, I'm dating Brie. That's clout for them. Right. I'm like,
I get it. I can understand. Okay.
You
Like, I'm
get like
trying
in
to
the
learn. I
first
might
time
need to add some of this shit to my list. So I'm trying
when
to
I
hear it.
first realized that, I was like, ew, like you can't be out here saying we're together. Like, because I have a
Yeah.
situationship right now. He's Arab actually, and something I didn't realize about Arab men, they're very like spendy. Like they're very like,
I may need to dabble.
but they're very bossy, very bossy. And my ex
Okay.
before him was Russian, and it's kind of the same. They're just like,
Mm.
here's money now, like I'm the boss of you, basically, right?
Oh
And so
shit. And I was like, I'm gonna start tapping into some different areas here because I'm tired of what I'm used to here.
what do you have to lose? Well, for me, sometimes it just gets to be too much. But like, so with my Russian ex, like we broke up. It was just too much. Like I'm an Aries. Like I'm in control of myself. And so, but like the Arab guy I'm dating right now, I mean, he's very much like, I'm picking you up tomorrow. We're going to the movies. I'm like, can you ask me out? Like, can you
But
try
see,
asking
I
me out?
might not mind that because I went so long having to always be the initiator, always having to plan the things or the dates or the events or the trips or whatever. So now I'm like, I love being like, where are we going? You made reservations. Where am I
It's a
showing up?
double-edged
And
sword
yeah, I get
because
it.
like I also don't mind sometimes just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, it's already planned. He'll
Yeah.
tell me what to wear. Like it's very bossy.
Oh shit.
But I'm like, okay. But then sometimes, like one time he was like, I'm gonna take you to this movie. I was like, oh, I don't really want to see that movie. And he's like, okay, anyway, I'll pick you up at noon.
He's like, listen, damn it, this is what we doing.
like I'm gonna do what he tells me to do. And
Okay.
it's like part of me doesn't mind. I mean, it's nice. I mean, he will literally cash at me. He's like, "Oh, babe, like check your Venmo, check your Cash App." I'm like, "Oh, babe, thank you."
Look, I
He's like,
enjoy
anyway,
those now.
he's like, "Anyway, be ready. Be ready at 6. I'm like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Like, just dress cute. I'll pick you up.
Oh my goodness.
Very bossy. They're just very, very bossy. But
Okay.
my dating. I'm not really an app person. I meet
Okay.
pretty much everyone I've ever dated. I meet in bars. I'm a bar kind of gal.
Okay.
Like, and so I met him in a bar. Like, I meet everyone in bars.
Got you.
But, I mean, are you on the apps? They're not for me.
I've done, especially when I first became single, I was on a few of the apps. Like the BLK app was popping in Charlotte,
I
baby.
got banned from there.
Well, damn. Shit.
No one.
Somebody was mad as hell reported your ass. Shit. Because I'm home all the time, it was just, it was fun. Like, oh, let me see who I match with. Let's see what's going on. And I can kind of easily be like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Next thing. You know what I mean? So it was really fun. But I had a lot of luck on the BLK app. Like I said, in Charlotte, it was like just a lot of fine ass men. Like,
oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's gotta
Charlotte,
be fake profiles because I'm like, I know these men ain't here in Charlotte, baby, but they were here in Charlotte, okay? And they were very quick to want to take me out and have a good time. But what I'm finding is as I'm getting more into like content creation, just kind of, gaining more followers and I'll say fans on social media, a lot of men have a hard time with that. Now, have you had any issues with, okay, I'm like, I'm so small time. I pray it blows up.
All they hear is you have a following and they just, I mean, like, so for the type of men that I actually would end up going out with, wouldn't have a problem with that. But when I tried the apps, anything you say they're doing, they act like it's, oh, you've got something going on in your life.
You're too much going on for me. I'm intimidated, right?
Exactly.
And I just hate that. That's why I'm like, I can't believe how many like insecure ass men there are out here, especially when I do my modeling. I was dating one guy one time. And this is probably when I first started doing the fashion shows. Like, so again, I'm new to being online, had no intentions on being back on social media. Because when I left my ex, I disabled all my social media pages. Like, I just want to go dark for a minute, have some time, regroup, focus. I did the dating apps, but I didn't do like Facebook, Instagram stuff. So I met a guy. He was such a sweetheart. He had just moved to Charlotte. And we had a good time. Like, we were having fun. We vibed on the phone all the time. And then I remember I had my first show. And I'm like, oh, you're going to watch? You're going to watch? So I'm all excited and stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm going to watch. And let's say I had 6 outfits I put on that night. He watched the first one, didn't watch the rest. And I guess he was so like, everybody on there just loves you. Everybody just thinks you're so gorgeous and you're so pretty and you're so this and you're so that. You're just about to blow up and you're going to forget all about my black ass. And I was like, so you didn't watch the rest of the show because of that? And he was like, I mean, I know it was going to be going on that all night. You thought I was going to get on there and do one fucking outfit. And so I realized, oh my God, some people cannot handle you getting attention like this. And that's something I find too. They're incredibly jealous, especially the ones who have nothing going on. Now, there's a guy who I'm somewhat dealing with. He's got a lot going on. He's not worried about me. I'm not worried about you. He's not sitting back trying to track, what are you doing today? What are you doing now? He's like, okay, you busy working on that for a little few hours. I'm about to go handle this. I got a webinar to jump into. I'm about to go to this training. Whatever the case is like.
He's motivated.
Yeah, it motivates me so much. I'm telling you. And it's like, damn. So, we're able to vibe and just pass ideas to each other with me and my graphics and all the shit I do. And it's like, oh, you can do this, because he's getting into content creation and stuff too. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I realized that works better for me, because I don't have to worry about you being so, and he actually tapped into my fashion show, was leaving the sweetest comments. And I'm like,
oh,
so
I love
cute,
it.
but I still don't want to deal with anybody on no serious tip. Like, I told myself, like, and my counselor was like, take 2 years, Derry. I know you want a new man. Take 2 years and get to a place where you're okay with you. You're okay with just you, your company. You don't need conversations. You don't need, because I was like, my phone's not going off, doctor. What is going on? I don't like this,
Oh, I totally get that.
You
when
need
you're
to just
new
be
to being,
alone.
you were in a relationship forever.
Yeah, for a long time.
For me, like, as I was kind of mentioning earlier, like, guys have to kind of like beg me to be like, you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna get into a relationship with you, because for who I am and like what I can offer, it's like, it's a lot. And so for me to put like my focus and energy on you, so you have to have a lot of money. You have to be like coming with something.
Yeah.
And so when you kind of break like the agreement, like with my ex yelling at me, like, what? You gonna raise your voice at me? Ew. Get out
Honey,
here. Like,
I'm putting that on my list too. You ain't about to sit here and talk crazy, bitch. No.
When I'm giving at the end, and I'm gonna give my like tips, I'm gonna tell you guys some things are on my list, because I want girls to know you can have big standards. Guys, there is somebody out there that's gonna be like, okay, I need to agree to these things, and then but you have to hold yourself to them. That's
absolutely.
My mistake
say it, and then it's like they'll break the first one the weekend, and you're like, well, maybe he's just having a bad day. Like,
you gotta be quick
he
to cut him
really
off.
mean that. No, you'll find some way to talk yourself out of it.
We're the biggest gaslighters of ourselves, is what I always say. Yeah.
Sure will. God damn. But yes, I like that. So, like I said, I'm still curious to know what other things are on your list. Here's like maybe 3 so far.
I mean, the number one is like, okay, and so if you have like a situationship, this doesn't really apply to that. I mean, whatever. If we're talking about somebody, like, I want to claim you, I want to put it, like, I have a bunch of engagement rings in my jewelry box. And my friend, she was like, bitch, it's giving Thanos. She's like, you can't get engaged anymore. She's like, you're trying to collect the Infinity Stones.
Oh my God.
Because you have to have standards to make these men act right with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a list, and some of the important things are, first of all, you can't be out in these streets embarrassing me ever.
Baby.
It includes sexting, which is why it didn't work out. Right? You can never, ever raise your voice at me, ever. I'm not a child. I'm not in danger, so you're not yelling and be like, hey, stop. Like, there's no reason for you to ever raise your voice at me. Like, you have to pay for everything. Bill, if we're going out to dinner, that's all on you. I'm just a girl. Like, I don't have money.
I don't disagree with that, baby. Listen.
I'm in a job right now, so like,
and it's so funny, when I did that skit, it was so many women who were like, why didn't you just pay? I don't pay on dates. I used to have to do that when I was married. I'm not paying for dates going forward. If you can't afford to take me to brunch,
you can't afford it.
What are we doing? You're wasting my time. I'm not paying for any dates. Now, I'm not going to say that I won't, like, maybe if we go somewhere really nice and the bill's $300, I might leave a tip.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Or like one time I was out with my baby daddy before we had a baby together, and he was taking all my friends out on like this like date. We went to like 3 different places, and he paid for the whole thing. And at the second place, I was like, oh, they have a coffee stand. I'm going to grab some coffee. And he pulls out his card. I was like, oh, babe, I got you. I was like, babe, come on. Let me take care of you, honey. Let me get this $2 coffee. My friend was cackling just like that.
Oh,
just like,
my God.
A $2 coffee. I'm like, yeah, I'm not just like a gold digger. I'm going to take care of my day.
Oh, my God. That's too funny.
Yeah.
But I don't see me doing the whole bill. I'm not paying for the bill.
No, never. That things like and that's another rule. If you're going out with me and my friends as a man, and listen, I'm in the South, you're in the South, you're gonna be a Southern gentleman. You pay for all the girls. We don't do no splitting bills. You know how embarrassing that would be
Love that.
if
Okay.
a man's at the table, we're all pulling our cards out. No, because if you weren't here, another man somewhere else in the bar is going to see a bunch of beautiful girls and pull his card out and pay. So then you're just taking up space. So if that's a problem, you stay home. You know what I mean?
That is so funny. I'm not mad at it. Okay, I'm adding to my list. Shit.
I mean, I have some serious rules. I mean, another thing I want to say is that, like, these men should always love you more than you love them.
Yeah.
If you're putting too much of yourself into a relationship, there's a saying, it's familiarity breeds contempt. Which is, if someone just knows too much about you, they'll take advantage.
Yeah.
You know, that happens to women so much. And so you got to keep the mystery. In the past, you used to call it the feminine mystique, whatever. But
okay.
You got to keep the mystery. They can't know every single thing about you.
Yeah.
You can't tell them, oh, my ex before you was abusive. Because then they'll realize, oh, that's what you'll accept. You know,
they can't. You show it they ass real quick. Fuck that.
Exactly. And so ladies, keep your standards and your boundaries high. Like,
yeah.
And like, people will say, oh, but maybe you'll miss out. Okay, great. I want to miss out. I want to miss out on the thing.
Thank you. I don't want to have my time wasted, baby.
Right. I love myself. I would rather be single. And I'm a single mom. Listen, like, I'm fine with that. I will be a single mom to the day I die, before I settle for somebody who is dragging me down. You know, I never gave a fuck. I never gave a fuck from the beginning. I will not just pick somebody and be like, oh, I want to be with someone. No, I'd rather just be a single mom first.
Absolutely. I know that's my attitude, baby. I left my ex, was like, I'm prepared to die alone. Trust and believe. I don't need nobody here because I have such a solid.
Beautiful, and we don't have to.
We don't have to, and we
don't have to.
That's the beautiful thing. And I say, you know what's awesome is just having my circle of friends. I'm like, I'd be okay just growing old with y'all. We raise our kids. We go have our fun. Of course, there's always some dick. We'll always get some dick, right?
Anytime we want to. You can get you a bossy Arab guy with lots of money. You can do whatever you want.
Listen, I just don't ever want to deal with the stress and headaches. So it's like trying to find somebody who is intentional out here about being with you and being like serious and really like marriage minded and like really wanting to grow old and build this life and future with you. They out here playing. And so
yeah, you can't be looking. You gotta wait, kind of not wait for it to come to you, but like, you know, put yourself in situations where it can come to. Like, you can't be at home every day, but you can be out there looking and like working
being
hard.
Thirsty, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Like every situation, like for example, when I was married or like serious relationships I've had, they've approached me out in public. You know, you don't have to chase.
No, you sure don't. But there's so many. I'm blown away by the thirsty women out here. Okay. Because I have so many male friends, and they're like, "Man, this girl was just all down my throat." Like, and I'm like, women are doing this now. When I first left my ex, I was easy. I would quickly walk up to my, "Oh, you are handsome. Oh, you smell nice."
No, the whole world's your oyster.
That's a candy store, okay? But even then, my co-host, I think we had this discussion on one episode one time. She's like, "I'd be like out with Derry," and I'm like, "Why are you going and talking to him?" I'm like, "Cause bitch, that could be my next husband." She's like, "No, he needs to come and approach you, okay?" And I'm like,
to like you more than you like
them.
them.
Maybe
and
so.
That includes them coming up to you. That's right. Yeah.
I fell back fast. Okay, I fell back like, okay, no more approaching.
You're a quick learner.
I am. That's why I love doing this because I literally just take a little something from everybody. Like, I never considered that. I need to make sure I update my standards over here because I'm so fucking new. And so on my show, you know, my co-host, she's the harder one. She's the one like, "Man, fuck these niggas. I don't give a fuck about these bitches." And I'm just like, "No, I love these men. Okay, I love them. We want them." But, you know, she's just like, "You're just doing too much." But I'm like, I think, again, I love so hard, and I think I have so much love to give to the right person. So when I think about like, damn, if I did all this shit for the wrong man, if the right man comes in my life and you support me, oh my God, the things I'm gonna try to do for you, for your business, for our house, for our kids. I love your kids. You gotta love my kids. Like, oh my goodness, what could we do? You know, and
I'm the
especially
same way. Listen, we're fire signs. We have a
yes,
lot of love to
we
give. Like
do.
I have a lot of love to give. Thing is, my boundaries are so high. Like I can't be giving you more love than you're giving to me. One of my standards, again on this list, is that like when I'm meeting a guy, it's not just like, oh, you're pushing me in the bar. You gotta buy me a drink. You gotta be like, I'm doing this and this and this for our first date. I mean, I've had first dates where in other countries, like what I mean, like just. Yeah,
Bitch,
like
I'm trying to get
find me
like
out,
you,
find me
shit.
out, give me my own room. Like it's got to be something serious to show that you are investing in me,
Right.
because otherwise, why am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
Like I could be
Absolutely.
with a sexy bum. Any both of us, we're both beautiful girls. We could be with sexy bums. We want to
Girl.
be with guys who got it together, and that's a little harder.
Absolutely.
But I'm willing to, make it a challenge. I don't give a fuck. Like
I'm with that. I'm with that. Because there's just so many easy women out here. And I said, y'all making it too fucking hard for like the ones who have standards, who have morals, who
Not really. When you think
you
about it,
don't
though,
think
not
so?
really. No, because we don't want the same class of guys. So
Okay.
we're
Very
not in
true.
the same league as each other.
Very true.
So, and that's another thing. Like, I don't put out like that.
Hell
Like
to listen.
exactly.
That's
So
one thing I did learn. We're not doing that now. You're gonna take me out. You're gonna put in some work for this. I think there was one guy who I was just like, I just want to go for a ride. We about to have a girl. I swear he was the
and
best sex ever.
classify guys like that, and then write them off, and that's
Right.
whatever.
We had
But
our
the
fun
guys that
next.
we want with money, with coming with that thing, we are in a different league. So the girls who are easy, whatever. I mean, I always say more power to them, but that's not us. Like
No,
that's
I
not me.
just
Like
can't.
I just can't. I have to know what you're about. I have to know what you
Yeah.
want. And you're gonna have to wait. And people are like, 30, 90 days. No, as long as it fucking takes.
I
Like, I don't
had
give a
one wait
fuck.
5 months.
Yeah, you wait forever.
And I'm like,
You
he
never
played
get
the
this.
long game for real. And it was like, oh, he just sitting around waiting to take me
That's
out.
a long game.
That's a long game. But I was enjoying him. Like we were friends. Like we were really having a good time. And
See, when you look back on it, though, you see you enjoyed yourself,
I did.
and it wasn't just sexual
It
immediately.
wasn't. And I was actually scared because I'm like, I think I felt little dick vibes. And I was like, I'm not pressed, like, but he surprised the shit out of me. Okay. He's also top of the list for me. And I'm like, oh
Ooh,
boy, this was worth the wait.
I love it.
But I just couldn't. I didn't grow up like that. Like I grew up in a very white town, and I feel like we'd hear the reputation of some of these girls, like, oh my God, such and such gave somebody head. Oh, she's a chicken head, and I'm like, I do not ever want that.
Same town vibe. I grew up in a small little town in Northern Virginia, and the girls were doing anal because they were like,
yep.
Oh, it's not bad.
I'm still a virgin. Going to my video. I'm sorry. So,
no, never.
And I think my daddy and my older brother kind of was like, you better be careful of your reputation, because once that shit's gone, it's gone. If you have the reputation growing up like, oh, you're a slut, you're easy, you'll be in your 40s and people will still think this.
Yeah, I knew a girl had to change schools because she got that reputation. And in hindsight, it's like, okay, she was a victim. That's sad.
Yeah, that sucks.
But at the time, it was just like, well, I don't want that to be me. You know what I mean?
No. So
I had one little high school boyfriend, and that was it.
And I only slept with him once. So it was like, oh, it was terrible. Like, I don't have to do this ever again. Never again.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Okay? So it only happened one time. But I'm telling you, like, so these are things I'm even trying to talk to my daughter about, because my daughter came home a few weeks ago, like her 13-year-old girlfriend was pregnant. And I'm
She's
like,
a victim.
And then they know who the daddy was.
I bet it's not another 13-year-old. I bet it's not another 13-year-old.
I think she said one of the boys was like 15 and another boy was 13, because he just so badly wanted to lose his virginity because of the kids and his friends were clowning him, they're making fun of me. Goofy shit. And I'm like, baby, I be trying to tell my daughter, listen, I'm not raising no babies. I'm not playing with you, because this is the part that got me fucked up too. So my childhood friend, she had a baby when she was 14. Ooh. And everybody in the school was like the biggest talk of the school. We can't believe this. And I'm looking at the girl down. I'm like, bitch, your son about to graduate college. We ain't even 40 and you got an empty nest? Like,
she's about to just blossom in her new life. 40 years old. Oh my goodness.
traveling, living. Like, who the hell else is an empty nester at 38, you know? Well, shit, he's been to school a couple
That
years,
is kind of
so
lit.
from like
I can't
35,
lie.
36. You know what I mean?
That's
So I'm
kind of
like,
dope. I
damn,
can't
like we
lie.
used to talk all this shit about you and your ass is out here living now.
There was a part of me that I was like, I wish I was a younger mom. But the thing was, when I was younger, I didn't really think about becoming a mom. I was like,
Girl,
well,
I
I don't think
wasn't.
it's going to happen. I got
No.
gut.
I personally didn't think I wanted kids. And I feel like I was almost like trapped. Like my ex was on a mission.
I definitely got baby trapped. You
and
got baby trapped.
Then
We
to
both
be
got baby
women
trapped.
trapping men. No, we ain't doing it. And,
No.
But I think they have this way of convincing themselves like, if I get her pregnant, she's not going to want to be a single mom. So she's going to stay with me and put up with my shit.
That's my baby daddy 100%. On our second date, he was like, I want a daughter and I want you to be my baby mama. I was like, first of all, I'm like, you're drunk? I'm like, you don't know what you're saying? I'm like, I just laughed.
Oh,
I'm like,
my
that's crazy.
God.
And then guess what? He baby trapped me and I gave him a daughter. So.
Yeah. I was almost pregnant. I actually was pregnant with twins when I had my daughter, and we lost one early.
Aww.
And I remember just being so stressed because, girl, I was at the end of grad school. I had like one more semester to go. I'm like, as soon as I finish getting this degree, I'm going to fuck back home. I'm getting the hell up out of here. And then boom, I'm pregnant. And I'm like,
I was an undergrad. I did school late.
Okay.
Until I was pregnant, in college, and I was like, every day I thought about dropping out. I was like, I can't deal with this. But then I did my graduation photos with my baby. I was like, look at me.
I know, I had this big ass bump walking across the stage, like, God damn. So this is the Hoe-Busters Podcast, and I love to ask this question because the stories are always wild as fuck. Tell us about a time you had to be a hoe-buster.
So give us the definition of hoe-buster, because I know you told me before, but I'm like, let me hear it again.
Time you had to bust somebody being a hoe.
I did do that. So with my baby daddy, as I mentioned briefly, I didn't get into it. I saw text messages in his phone when he was texting someone, right? Let me give you the dirty details. So, and this is going to put you on game. So girls, prick your ears up, okay?
Yes.
So my baby daddy is obsessed with me and always has been. And he blew up a big collage of us, pictures we took over the years of us dating. And he was like, hang this up in the house. I put it in the baby's room. I was like, she might love this, right?
Yeah.
And I came home one night and I was a little tipsy. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with him. He's being weird. I want to get in his phone. So I took his phone, and to do the face unlocking, I held it up to the picture that he blew up.
And it worked?
It should unlock the phone of the picture that he took. I know, right? So I unlocked the phone, I got in there, and that's how I discovered this sexting. But let me tell you who he was sexting. He was sexting his friend's mother.
Girl, shut up.
His friend's mom. A friend of his, the mom. Yeah.
And he kept the messages, not like in the recently deleted folder.
Nope. I found them in recently deleted because he's too dumb. He didn't know about that. But I checked my phone. I checked everything, and I looked in there, and I was like, "This is your friend's mom. What is wrong with you? Why can't you be normal?" I mean, we argued about it.
Hell yeah.
But I was done.
Now, was the mother entertaining him? Is what I'm curious to know.
Yes. She was sending sex messages back. I mean, it was sexting a lot. It was a paragraph. I was looking at these. I was like, what? Like, it was disgusting. But listen, ladies, if you have a picture of your man, you want to get in that phone, blow that picture up. Apple apparently doesn't know about this. Don't repeat it because I don't want them to know. But if you have a blown up picture of your man's face, you can hold that phone up to that picture. It will unlock that phone. It's facial recognition. It recognizes the face.
I am baffled, okay? Oh my God.
That's how I busted a hoe, okay?
Oh my God. Now,
that's how I busted that
words. I don't even have words, girl. I don't now listen. We quickly put on the detective caps, but I never thought of that. Ever.
I never really thought about it either because I'm not really someone who goes to his phone since I never gave a fuck. I mean, again, I'm an Aries. I never gave a fuck. But he was acting so weird. And I was like, I can't unlock it when he's sleeping because the eyes are closed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went in the baby's room where the picture was, bloop, unlock. I was like, yo.
That is the best tip I have heard
It's all
this
yours,
year.
free of charge.
Oh
Free of
my
charge.
God.
You want to get that man's phone, blow up a picture. I mean, and he had blown up a whole collage on a canvas. And it was like 4 pictures in a collage. Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Now that's your tip. Cheers.
Girl, yes.
It worked.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I usually ask, like, what's your takeaway from that situation? What did you learn out of that? You learned and taught a whole lot. This is about to get some traction, I'm sure.
I learned. I mean, listen, I'm a habitual phone checker. I look in those phones, even if it's on the up and up. I mean, like I mentioned, I was married before when I was 25.
Okay.
And I checked not his phone, but his computer. Okay. And I saw things on there I did not approve of. And that's why we ended our marriage. Like, have your standards, have your boundaries, be strict. You get this one life to live. Do you want this one life that you're living attached to a nigga who just treats you like whatever, who doesn't give a fuck about you? Or would you rather either be single and just be with yourself, or be with someone who does give a fuck, who takes care of you, who pays those bills, who puts you on that pedestal? You choose one or the other, by yourself or with someone like that, but not with someone who's just using you, hates you, but is sleeping in your bed every night. Like, you don't want that shit. You don't want to be a married single mom.
Don't.
Like,
I swear to God,
make
you
the
don't.
choice. You get this one life to live. So
absolutely.
That's
well, I
takeaway.
love that, girl. Thank you so much for sharing this, Brie. This was freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed this conversation with you.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta do it again sometime.
We absolutely do. I'm going to be very excited when you and Dee are able to get your show back popping.
We get our show back up. Yeah.
Yes, this is going to happen.
Any podcast.
Yes.
And on every social media site, it's at WHY Baby Daddy Pod.
Okay.
We Hate Your Baby Daddy podcast. So yeah, thank you for
I'm gonna make sure to tag y'all because they gotta check y'all out. Y'all are definitely a good time. So there you got it. Another wonderful episode wrapped up with the Hoe-Busters Podcast. Special thanks to my girl over here, Brie. I am so grateful for having her come on today. This was a fantastic conversation. My freaking cheeks hurt as usual, and I can't wait to put this one out, okay? But thanks again to everybody out there tuning in, watching, or listening on all the platforms from YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, all the good stuff. Take a moment to like this video, please. Subscribe to the podcast on any of those platforms I mentioned. Let us know how you like this episode. And if you have any questions for me or for my special guest, Brie, over here, I'll make sure to tag her information in case you want to follow her.
On any platform you're listening to this on, leave a review, 5 stars. Click the 5 stars if you made it this far. You've been listening, you've been enjoying this show for how long? 9 months? Leave a review. That makes us go up in the ranking.
I do not ask for that. I have to start asking for that. High five. Thank you, girl. Yes.
Leave a review. 5 stars.
Too. I appreciate that. And if you happen to be in the Charlotte, North Carolina area and want to join me for an upcoming episode, or even if you're somewhere in this world and want to tap in just like we are doing right now remotely, you can apply on the www.hoe-busters.com website, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But until next time, thanks again, Brie.
Oh, period. Thanks for having me.
Yes, boo. Enjoy your night.